So, welcome to the Rapid and Bag It class. We know that we're going to be meeting every Friday in August. And when we're done on the 25th, we're going to have a fashion show and a photo shoot. But we're going to be making our own wrap skirts, and we're going to be making a bag. So tonight, what we're going to do is create our pattern. And our pattern is going to be created from our body measurements. So we know that it will truly fit us. And hopefully the pattern could be a good basis to make other skirts. The wrap is a wonderful skirt to make. It has a little bit of give in it, if you would say, because some of us, like myself, we're fuller in the middle than we are in other spots. But it gives us some leeway, and it's not a fitted waistband,
right?
Because we're wrapping it. So that's the goal. The most important thing when we sew is knowing our measurements. We can buy all the patterns in the world, and they have measurements on the back, but we buy it and then we make that 14 because we know that we're a 14, and then it doesn't fit. Because I feel like, and I started to say this, Carla, in the experience of sewing, their 14 in the sewing world is different than the 14 you buy off the rack.
Oh.
It's less forgiving. Would that be true?
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you've
that's
experienced
true.
that? It's less forgiving. I don't know why. I feel like a size 14 is not the measurements they claim it to be, and I'm using a 14 because I usually could be a 14 or 16 depending upon. They're not the measurements they claim them to be, and so it's very frustrating. So this way, if you do decide to use a pattern, if you know your measurements, then you can alter the pattern to fit you as well. And every pattern has lines where you're able to alter and still maintain the integrity of the garment, but you can make it better fit you. And then, of course, you can always tailor it even more once you begin to create it to make it fit right on you, flow. You might take it in a little bit more or let it out. But if you can do it while you're cutting it, it's less frustrating, is the word. So with that in mind, we are going to be, I printed out for everyone to see, something to put your measurements on, something for you to know, so that when you do so, and you look at the waistline and you know you need to make it a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, you know what your measurements are. I always say it's good to do a measurement so that we know who we truly are. So
can you hold that up one more time, Cheri?
I just printed something off the internet. There's lots of things to look at. There are tons of these in various forms, iterations. There's men, there's women. Some have hair, some don't. All of it to make sure that you can, what I call, measure up. So we're going to measure up tonight, and then from that we're going to use our paper to create. It's architecture paper.
I remember that paper.
So you know, you can say, "Oh, I need pattern." So it's really what you want to do. I have this in my house because I was an architecture major, but it comes in handy to make patterns. Sometimes I'll make my patterns out of this, and then I have.
It's right there. There's the other.
There's this one, but I also have this.
Is it the brown paper?
Yeah.
The brown paper.
And you know what this is? I bought this in the paint aisle at Home Depot.
Is that butcher paper?
No, it's in the paint aisle at Home Depot.
Okay.
They use it to put down and tape on the floors. So it's thin enough that you could make a pattern out of it if you want to keep it and say, this is my pattern. I mean, you could do it on this, or you can do it on, I use this because it's easy to, but you could do it on this, and then you can, write your name on it and date on it, and write skirt front, skirt back, so you know what you're working with. But this whole roll, I want to say, was $5 and some change, maybe $6 with tax, and it's worth it to keep it in your studio space if you need something. They have it actually longer, This I figure is good on the average person for a skirt.
Yes.
Maybe even a top, sleeves. I might get the wider if I was making maybe wide leg pants. I don't know if that'll work. It might for a leg. Or if I was making a coat or something like that where the pieces might be a little bit bigger. So, but this is great for that kind of project. Making handbags, other stuff. It's a great pillows. It's great for you to be able to do that kind of stuff with.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I can see.
All right, so let's get out. Where's my little
No
measure?
problem.
So I don't know. I made my own little kit that I have.
Super cute.
You like this?